gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
If you want to get to know a character, learn about their interests, goals, or desires, their butt is probably not going to give you that information. It won't tell you much about who they are or what they're thinking or feeling at any given time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold the phone right there, Anita. Are you trying to tell me that it has never been possible to figure out someone's personality and anything about them because of their butt? Are you kidding me? Am I the first to hear of this? Now, as for this learning about the character's desires, it's a character. It's fictional, not real. They have no personality. They have no desires. They are pixels.
But video game designers often choose to put tremendous focus on the butts of certain characters while going to almost absurd lengths to avoid calling attention to the butts of others.
Oh, so you're a developer, are you, Anita? Who knew? What have you made? What have you worked on? What team have you been a part of? Oh, that's right, the Social Bitch Club. Forgot about those guys because, my mistake, those girls, because they went into obscurity. As for game designers putting some focus on a character's ass or a character's tits sometimes, did you ever stop and think maybe because certain games need that? Now let's look at Mario. Would you focus on Mario's ass? No. Would you look at Dead or Alive? Yes, because those games are made, wait for it, here's the common sense that you seem to be lacking, they are made for a certain group of gamers, which is a term you are not part of. You are not a gamer, Anita. You are a bitch.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
These carefully crafted choices developers make about camera angles and clothing significantly impact how players think about and relate to these characters. Third-person games with female protagonists typically display those characters in a way that gives players a full-body view. A classic example of this is the original Tomb Raider games, which are presented from a third-person perspective wherein protagonist Lara Croft's entire body is visible. In these early Tomb Raider games, Lara's butt is typically right in the center of the screen, a camera orientation which, along with the sexualized clothing the designers choose to outfit her in, places a tremendous amount of emphasis on that part of her body.
Well, now hold on. Now you're saying you have a problem with the camera angle? What would you prefer? Instead of a full body shot, would you rather we just see from their shoe? Or maybe you would prefer just to have a floating head. Maybe there shouldn't even be a body developed. Maybe the character should just not even be developed fully. It should just be a head, and that's all you see floating around. Is that what you want? Maybe that would solve all of your problems if developers were just like, let's get even lazier. Let's just cut off, save our time, cut off all the time we need to develop a full character model, and we'll just do the head. And then put the camera angle right behind the head. That way, we don't have to see butts that make me jealous. That's what Anita's thinking.
That had to hurt!
In dozens of third-person games with playable female characters, the character's butt is brought to the forefront, and that's where the player's focus is directed. In Batman Arkham City, for instance, the player's gaze is drawn to Catwoman's behind.
Well, now hold on there. What's the problem?
In Batman Arkham City, for instance, the player's gaze is drawn to Catwoman's behind, which is emphasized by her costume and exaggerated hip sway.
Oh, so you've got a problem with Catwoman acting like a cat, swaying her hips back and forth. Well, Anita, I hate to break it to you, but that's kind of what Catwoman does. Uses her sexuality to to seduce her opponents and beat them into a bloody pulp. Allow me to introduce you to Catwoman. And Catwoman, let me introduce you to Miss Anita Bitch.
The ceremony! The Sisterhood will never forgive me if I am late.
Golden Axe Beast Rider makes extremely sure that we notice the protagonist's butt just before we take control and start playing. And here in Tomb Raider Underworld, to say that Lara's butt is being emphasized would be putting it mildly.
Incredible. The carvings are clearly similar to early Germanic design, but this is far older than the 5th century.
Oh, so now your problem is with bathing suits? Really? Lara Croft goes exploring in underwater relics or ruins or whatever, and of course she's gonna wear a bathing suit. What do you want her to wear, a suit? Freaking tuxedo? Are you dramatically brain dead? I think so. So if you have a problem with this kind of bathing suits, you really aren't gonna like this type of person. And I don't even know who that is in the picture, so if you're wondering, sorry, I don't know, just from Google Images, but Anita Sarkeesian, have you been to a beach before? These are the types of outfits females wear. I've seen a heck of a lot more revealing outfits at the beach than even this. So, how about you wake up and smell the roses?
Oh, that hit just the right spot!
And this happens all too often.
You can't miss it.
Let's contrast the way that women's butts are emphasized with the sometimes absurd lengths taken to cover up or hide men's butts.
You know, Anita, I really am starting to get the feeling that you never had the birds and the bees talk, did you? And also, I'm picking up on a little something. Is it possible, with all of this butt talk, that maybe you have a fetish for butts? Did we ever consider that? I think so. There is the saying, like, you know, guys are like, either they're a tits guy or an ass guy. And if you were a guy, clearly, you'd be an ass guy. Now, as for the reason of why there's not a focus on guy butts, very, very simple. Who wants to see that? Huh? Females are always showing off their ass or their tits in real life. Guys aren't. Do you not understand that females and guys are different? Have you seen the clothing guys wear? It doesn't show off their ass, because an ass is an ass. A guy's ass is a guy's ass. They're all the fucking same. You fucking idiot. But females, that's one of their assets. Huh, pun intended.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Of course, not all games with male protagonists keep the character's butt obscured or out of frame like these games do. The real issue is one of emphasis and definition. A significant portion of third-person games with female protagonists call attention to those characters' butts in a way that's meant to be sexually appealing to the presumed straight male player.
Yeah, I'm confused again, Anita. So you're saying making a game better for the potential consumer, putting in features or any kind of thing that would benefit sales in any way, shape, or form that is, you know, even if it's sexual, is a bad thing. I don't see it that way.
In this regard, the way that women's bodies are depicted is significantly different from the way that men's bodies are depicted. There are a few examples of male protagonists who are wearing clothing that calls attention to their butts, but for the most part, men's butts, even when visible in the frame, are de-emphasized.
Alright, now you're really starting to piss me off, Anita. Have you ever in your life opened your eyelids and looked around? You're saying the depictions of men, or male characters, and female characters is different. Have you not noticed guys and girls walk differently? Have you really, truly never noticed that? Have you ever seen a guy walk like the fashion models do? Granted, they're supposed to walk like that. But even walking down the street, naturally girls' hips sway more. Guys just walk normally. It's just the way it is. But don't you worry, Anita, because I know the perfect new job opportunity for you, and I got a buddy here who's going to tell you all about it.
Looks like Jack just invented a new kind of hybrid car.
Yeah, it runs on assholes.
Which seems to be an abundant fuel source around here. Woohoo!
This difference in how male and female characters are framed often extends into the advertisements and box covers. Women's butts are front and center, and it's even become a depressing joke that their bodies are twisted and contorted in uncomfortable or unnatural ways so that their breasts and butt can be visible in the same shot.
Oh, so it's just game covers now where females on the game cover are twisted into uncomfortable positions. You know what that reminds me of? And it's not game related. It reminds me of magazines with celebrities. Like this one. Does she look uncomfortable? I don't think so.
In contrast, when men are depicted from behind, there's great effort taken to cover up their rear end, often with other images or shadows.
Oh my god, you truly are incapable of having any kind of proper thought. It's astonishing. You know why characters like frickin' Nathan Drake on that Uncharted cover have a plant covering their ass? Because if it wasn't there, it would just be a guy standing there. Boring. And if they put it somewhere else, what are they going to do? Cover up his fucking head? It's a bush covering his ass. It's pointless. God damn, you're dumb. You know what? You need a few bitch slaps right across the face. Here you go.
So to be clear, the solution here is not to simply show more butts of male characters. Equal opportunity butt display is definitely not the answer.
Really? Well then why don't you do us the honor, Anita? Tell us, what is the solution?
Rather, the solution is to de-emphasize the rear ends of female characters, so that players are encouraged not to ogle and objectify these women, but to identify and empathize with them as people.
I was so hoping you wouldn't say something stupid, but then I remembered, look who we're dealing with. So you want us to not ogle these women, these polygons, these pixels, these bits of data. They aren't real. They aren't women. And you want us to sympathize with these people. Again, they aren't people. They aren't people! Whatever, Anita. Do you have any last words you want to say? And I know I'm going to regret giving you that freedom.
This is not an impossible task, given that game designers do this all the time with their male characters. It's time they started consistently doing it with their female characters, too.
Tactical nuke incoming!
I knew it. I knew it. Yep. I knew giving you that freedom was going to come back and bite me in the ass, and here we are back on the topic of asses. How funny how that works out. So, Anita, let me get this straight. You want to tell developers what to do, what to make, use their own brain, how you want them to? Fuck you in the ass, and there we go with the ass again. Seriously, a developer doesn't think like you apparently think they do. They have a concept in mind. They're like, oh, here's an idea for a game, let's make this. We need to make a character, let's do this. There is no sexualization! It is literally, they make a game, they make a character. It's that simple. You're trying to restrict people's creativity? Fuck you, I'm gonna borrow a Microsoft thing, hashtag deal with it. Oh, and one other thing, Anita. You know what you are? Whenever you don't get your way, or whenever someone tries to tell you any other thing that goes against you, whether it's on your YouTube channel, where you block all comments, this is what you are.
I'm gonna get the bomb! No! I didn't get the bomb! No!
Oh, don't cry! Oh, it's okay.
And just like that, Anita, you're done. You lose. Like always, I win.
That was brutal! KO'd by one hit!